A very good morning, 8th Standard. This is Anviti here again with Blog 2, The Industrial Revolution. And this is Lesson Plan 3, Impact of the Industrial Revolution. We are continuing the lesson plan after few days, so we need a recap before starting our lesson. To start our lesson, you need your content book, workbook, stationery that is required. So, do you remember what had we learned in the previous lesson plan? We have read about major inventions such as flying shuttle, spinning jenny, water frame, mule, and steam engine. And all these inventions had been done due to the Industrial Revolution. Now tell me, can you think of some changes that may have taken place in Britain because of the Industrial Revolution? What were they? So, as you have read it, so there were many changes in Britain due to the Industrial Revolution. Such changes took place in society of the time. Uh, those were the way people lived and worked, and the changes has also been taken place in the country economy of the country raised. So now you got the idea what are we going to learn today. We will learn about the positive and the negative impacts of industrial revolution. To learn more about it, you need to read the section impact of the industrial revolution, and while reading you will keep this on your brain that what are the three things you learn from the section and what are the three things you found interesting, and you need to tell one thing that you would like to get more information about. You can pause the video here, read the section, come back, join me again so that we can continue our lesson. I hope you have done it. Now tell me, what did you learn about from your reading of the section? The section I have assigned you to read. Now tell me, what have you learned from that? I think you have read about the points which I had written. The Industrial Revolution led to the growth of cities, changes in the economy of Britain, and major growth in the production of goods. Now tell me the next question. What was the impact of the Industrial Revolution? The Industrial Revolution modernized the way goods were manufactured in Britain and thus led to greater economic growth. It also led to an increase in the number of cities as more and more people moved from rural areas to work in cities. That is known as urbanization. The Industrial Revolution had a negative impact on the society as well. For example, the rise in the number of children working in factories and long working hours, that is known as child labor. It also led to a deterioration in the working condition of factory workers in Britain, as factory owners only cared about the maximizing profit and not on improving the working conditions of the factory workers. So there were several impacts of British Industrial Revolution on the society. There was a great economic growth, more and more goods were being produced, increased in child labor, and deterioration in working condition of the people, or you can say the factory workers. Now, how do you think the Industrial Revolution would have an impact on the rest of the world? So, as you know, that Britain had colonized many of the Asian and African countries. So, that was due to this Industrial Revolution only. So, due to the increase in number of factories and industries in Britain, it needed more raw materials and markets also to sell its manufactured goods. Thus, Britain started looking at countries in Asia and Africa where it could gain control. It would exploit these nations by buying cheap raw material from them and selling its finished goods to them again at higher prices. It means Britain was exploiting these nations again and again by purchasing also and by selling time also. Got it? So you need to read this impact of industrial revolution very carefully to understand this. Now here comes your bonus question of the day. While reading you will come across this question. Which city became the textile hub during industrial revolution? You need to answer this question in your Google app form online. Okay? So for that you need to go through the whole section, point it correctly, write down tick the answer correctly, so that I can understand that you have read it. Now, after that, you will read the section one more time and you will complete workbook and your notebook. In notebook, you will do practice questions 7 to 9, and in workbook, you will complete S3 or section 3. I hope you understood it. If you do have any problem, please write me in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.